Invocation to the Lord. Dear Lord, allow my spirit to rise to your heights, to drink from the true fountains of wisdom, and absorb your powerful vibrations of love and faith, of purification and spiritual and material strength, of spiritual power, peace, understanding, health, prosperity, and harmony to pour over my brothers and sisters. Lesson 2. Need for knowledge. The teachings that you are receiving can only differ in their form of expression from those that humankind received through the elevated beings who came to earth on previous occasions and lived among humans. Like wonderful water from a sacred spring, so will the words flow from your lips that will bring humankind the knowledge which the spirit needs as much as the body needs food. That is why the great masters bring knowledge, which you need to acquire in order to then convey to your brothers and sisters. The truth is one. Its essence does not vary. They, the teachings, can only differ in the way in which they have been, are, or will be exposed to humankind in order to facilitate their understanding and assimilation, according to mental capacity and spiritual preparation. Humankind interpreted the teachings according to their form of expression. This separated them into apparently different and even antagonistic doctrines, which keep them divided to this day. Because the spiritual aspect is one that can most easily unite or separate humankind when they believe to have found the truth in a specific doctrine. The truth cannot belong to a specific doctrine or to a specific human group, because the truth is universal. It belongs to all and has been repeatedly brought to all by divine messengers. The truth is in everything, and searching for it with love, with faith, and with humility, you will find it in all religions and in everything that surrounds you. The spiritual teachings, to be acquired and retained only in a group, without action in the rest of humankind, would have no object. The masters would never give teachings for that sole purpose. A master will never engage in teaching if it is not for those teachings to be conveyed and to benefit the rest of humankind, whether at the moment or in the future, since the work of the masters is always of universal repercussion. Everything that you are receiving is not for you alone, but for you to give, in words, and now that you shall bring the light to the minds and the good to all beings. You are eager for action. You are eager to bring good to others, but the most pressing need is for knowledge and its assimilation, so that the forces that you possess and will develop later can be transformed into acts of good for others. It is necessary that you know the way in which you should act and why you act. It is also necessary that those who will receive forces to transform them into acts of good know what it is that they are receiving. Each one must become a small master who will gently convey the word of encouragement, hope, faith, and knowledge to others. Everyone will listen to you if you carry out the task with love. Do not try to impose your concepts or the teachings. Always speak with love. Do not try to raise the being to your level of knowledge, but descend to where that being is, to speak to them on their own terms and perform the task gently and lovingly. The time has come when you must dedicate yourselves to the task of loving and teaching and giving, each according to their acquired knowledge and according to their will. So prepare for it. All the beings that will come closer to you and in which you see the spiritual or material need for help will be beings that we will bring closer to you so that you can carry out the work. These beings should never be rejected. On the contrary, they should be attracted with words of love, with words of hope that will give birth to faith in their hearts. Through that faith, it will be easy to carry out your task. Do not be discouraged if you encounter beings who are reluctant to accept the word of knowledge. Although at first you may see them contrary to the ideal, all beings can be led towards the path of spiritual truth if you use persuasion of love to do so. In this sense, you will be greatly surprised, because you will meet beings whom you believe to be very far from this spiritual idea, and whom you will assume to be almost impossible to appeal to. And yet, you will later see them approach with love and intense faith. The forces of space are influencing the spirits. They are influencing the groups. They are influencing everywhere. Therefore, your task will only be to unite forces with the beings that are around you. The work is being done by us in space, and you will only have to establish that connection, whatever the situation or need is of the being that approaches you. We will prepare the circumstances, the facts, the people, and when the time comes, we will establish the necessary connections. The work is enormous. The marvelous work of spiritual and physical transformation of humankind that the mission of the Christ must carry out is not and could not be the work of humankind. Therefore, being this the work of elevated spirits, work of masters, you should fear nothing, and nothing should worry you. Your only concern should be your own spiritual preparation. It must be your love for your brothers and sisters, your faith in the beings that guide you. Negative forces will constantly try to influence you, bringing you doubts and hesitations that can prevent you from true contact with the elevated. That is the danger that you must face for a long period, in which the forces of evil could still affect you. But when through your faith and your love, your connection with the elevated ether is intense enough, the forces of evil will not be able to work on you. You will always be warned of the spiritual dangers that may approach you, so that you are prepared to reject them. If you maintain your faith and your love, nothing can harm you spiritually or materially. The mission of the Lord is supported on earth by thousands of beings, and it is necessary that they are always in perfect conditions to work on it. Great works will begin to be carried out for this moment of humankind, although very small compared to those that will be carried out later. Everything will be progressive and ever more intense, more elevated, more wonderful. We always talk to you about the need for love. Love is a requirement for the connection of your incarnate spirit with the elevated ether, and for the connection of your spirit with the spirits of your brothers and sisters. It is by excellence, the vibration of unity, the vibration that attracts all that is good, and at the same time awakens all that is good in all beings. Your heart must constantly vibrate in loving tune. You must take your thoughts along the path of love, and that love, which you must radiate over to others, must be in you as the essence of your spirit, as the essence of your lives. Love must unite us. because unity between beings through love is such an enormous force that evil can never act upon it. Do not presume that love is something that you will be able to use at will and on certain occasions. No, there must be love constantly in you, and love must always guide your thoughts and your actions. You must manifest love in the family group, in your activities, and above all, in the spiritual work groups.